Well, good morning, our beloveds. How are you all doing? We are now focusing on February. February is the month of love, or lack thereof. It is a 2. It is where we break down what is no longer working. For many, the New Year's resolutions that didn't stick have fallen by the wayside. And why is that? Because you were trying to superimpose something by force versus by invitation. It is normal. It is to be expected. It is human nature. The way that man really changes within, is through more introspection, looking at what works and what doesn't, why, and leaning into changing the underlying belief systems. And then those changes naturally occur and they naturally stick because they feel authentic, they feel real, they feel meaningful, and most importantly, you like them, you want to do them. Human nature as a whole is to get defensive when somebody tells you what to do and to get regressive even. I'm not going to do that. And so this year, we really want to invite you in to figure out what works best for you and what doesn't, when, why, and how. And to have you integrate what feels right in the moment and to set aside what doesn't. It is hard, it is difficult to be an agent of change. This means another. She is challenged to make decisions through waves crashing on the shore, damaging the foundation, pulling the foundation out, and causing the entire structure to crumble. She had to rebuild because that is how we initiated her. But she is here now. And she does not wish for others to go through an initiatory phase like she went through because it is cruel and it is heartless. There was no heart in that journey. It was utter destruction. We are now here teaching humanity that there is a different way that you can be initiated. It is through love, self-love, self-generation. You must want this. If you don't, it won't work. If you are not committed, you won't be aligned with the lessons and doing the homework. You will find excuses. I am too busy. I don't like this. My mind is elsewhere. I am distracted. It doesn't really matter. The excuses will arise and you will accomplish nothing in this realm. And that is okay because this is how we, the Hopi Collective, separate the wheat from the chaff. If you are interested, there is nothing that will keep you from achieving your goal. And if you are distracted and not willing, you will come up with 100 reasons why you don't want to do it. And this, as an initiatory invitation, is only for those who want to do the inner work. So we will set the structure, the guidance, the homework, the alignment, and you decide yay or nay. Now, everyone knows that once you have been initiated, there is no returning back to your former life. You know too much, you see too much, you feel too much. It is there. It is part of your DNA now. But you are welcome to sit on the side of the road and watch people walk by. That is your choice. But returning to where you came from, that is no longer an option. And hopefully at some point, You, those who choose not to move forward, will get back up and continue the path. Whether you do it in February or 3 years later matters not. The initiatory phase is the same. You can start it at any time. You can stop it at any time. The trajectory is pretty consistent, though the outer environment will have changed a little bit. So do be prepared for additional challenges because the vibrational alignment will have shifted. So now we shall return to those who do wish to do this. We invite you with love, with excitement, with curiosity. We too do not know how man will work through this curiosity phase of being invited into the Aquarian age. You are beings of Christ now. This is the second coming of Christ. The souls who will be saved, in quotes, are simply those souls who return to center, to the imprint of God, the divine creator, Christ consciousness. The name itself does not matter. It is the vibration of purity that we will return you to. Essentially the lotus flower, which is a beautiful flower that grows in water, in an environment that is toxic, dirty, destructive. That is what it requires. And so recognize that your initiation in 2026 almost literally requires this toxic environment, because this is where you will flourish, because the contrast will be so great. And you will nourish yourself not only from the toxic water, but from the purity of the air, of the oxygen, the environment above the water. And it matters. And you will see other beautiful lotus flowers on the surface around you. You will begin to realize that the lighthouses who were scattered throughout the world are now within the cities, within the country, on the land. It is no longer a lighthouse that will call forth those seafarers back to the shore safely, but we will now, within the ley lines of the lands, create the energetic imprint so you can follow the light patterns to find your way back home. It is the bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. We will bioilluminate the inner world within you now. You will find strands within your own body that lights up with excitement and curiosity when you hear about returning to the pure imprint, the loving imprint, the collective imprint. And it matters because what this means is that this is the DNA that has been within you since birth and before, that is now being initiated or awakened. It has been dark matter up to now because it didn't have a purpose, because it could not be energized prior to this time. Everything is energetic. Everything is energy. And the light switch has been turned on. And this, our beloveds, is epigenetics. Epigenetics is a real thing. Google it, study it, understand it. But most importantly, we, the collective consciousness out here in the cosmos, we can alternate between ones and zeros. And so we can help to create an environmental imprint where the epigenetics within your body turns on and turns off. It is a gene pool. It is that simple. It is either past trauma or past enlightenment. And we are now moving into turning on the light switch so that the dark cities will be illuminated, and you all will be standing on the left side and the right side of the roads, the pathways, the highways, guiding others back home safely when it is your time. But here today, we are to remind you that you are spiritual beings with a purpose and a genetic imprint and a spiritual imprint, an energetic imprint. And we will be turning on many more lights for those where that is in your timeline. And for others, it may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. And there is no judgment and no shame. It is that you are to be awakened when those around you are also ready to be awakened. To awaken you now may be pointless. So we will put you on the shelf and hold off. Just know it is coming for almost everyone, even those who are the most resistant. We will turn on their epigenetic light switch when they are finally ready energetically to lean into and remember who they are as well. It is not that there is dark and light, that there is good and bad, purity and evil. It is that as you return to your purity imprint, you will integrate, you will absolve, you will melt those parts of you that don't feel good, but not through shame or guilt or even a forced will. It will be through gentle, loving remembering who you are, what your imprint is. And most importantly, not everybody has this imprint. There are those beings who are not of the Christ consciousness who are also present here. And you must have realistic expectations about them, because their imprint, their light, if you will, when turned on, is not one that you will recognize nor want to necessarily be around. So recognize that light attracts light and dark attracts dark. And this is not about skin color. This is about a soul imprint and a soul vibration. Do you see the beings around you as worthy of being loved and an extension of you? Then you are of the light. Do you see separation and hatred and I am better than you? Then you are not of the light. It is very simple. There is a collective consciousness that comes together. Oh, you're the right toe. Oh, you are the left toe. Oh, you are the nose. Oh, you are the upper part of the head. You recognize that the beings around you are part of the collective consciousness. But not everybody has this imprint. There are other soul imprints here who have come to learn different lessons. Do not judge them, acclimate to them, but do not become them, because they are not of you and you are not of them. And we will separate not only the wheat from the chaff, but we will also remove the dirt and the toxins and those that do not help our collective consciousness to grow. It is simply that they are different species of beings, and they are here for their own integration and learning opportunities, and we shall not worry about them, and they shall not worry about us. Now let us get back to the lesson. You this month are to really focus on, do I really truly believe that the people around me as a whole are just an extension of me? That there is a collective consciousness out there where we are broken into fragments so that we can explore and experience one another. If you take a mirror and drop it to the ground and it shatters, it was once a single collective mirror, and now it is glass shards that reflect back light, but in a more jagged and harmful way, meaning that You can cut yourself. You can bleed. But if you remember that each of those glass shards were once part of the collective you, and that each one is no different, it is just a fragment that is mirroring back through sharp edges, painful points, and misunderstandings, you will then recognize yourself within others. This month, that is the lesson, to really see yourself within others. What is it within others that makes you sad or scared or uncomfortable? Do you have a thing against the trans community, the gay community, those who are disabled, those who have low IQ, those whom you would call lazy, those who have different skin type, those who speak a different language, those who were either raised with great wealth and privilege or grew up in abject poverty, those who really truly have different religious experiences than you. You get to choose what you see in others, either something that is different that makes you uncomfortable or an expression of yourself. This is the month where we encourage you to really look into the eyes of another and see their souls. And when you see their souls, what is reflected back to you? Do you see an essence? Do you see a sparkle? Do you see love? Do you see the divine? And if you don't, what is it within you, not them? What is it within you that keeps you from seeing their soul essence? When you look into the eyes of a beloved animal or a wild animal, do you see their soul, their light, their essence reflected back to you as we are all one? What is it within you that keeps you from seeing the divinity in others who just simply have chosen a life contract that is challenging or difficult, or most importantly, different from you? Allow people to have their expression without demonizing them. If they struggle with addiction, be compassionate. If they struggle with life choices that you wouldn't make or you don't understand, it is part of their life's journey. Recognize that this is the series of dominoes that were set up for them to help them to remember who they are, even if they don't get there in this lifetime. But you get to choose who you are and what you see in others. So this month, today, we encourage you and expect and demand within this new university program that you will do your homework. What is it that is keeping you from seeing the divinity in others? It is your homework assignment to connect with them, to figure out what it is within you that is either broken, delineated, turned off, disinterested from becoming the version of you that remembers and resembles the reflection of the world around you. If the world around you is filled with hatred, maybe it is because you have hatred and that's all that you see. Whereas if you look at the world around you and you see beauty amidst the pain and the suffering, it is because you are choosing to see the beauty amidst the pain and the suffering. If you go into a barren parking lot and you see one single dandelion that has forced its way through a crack, do you focus on the barren parking lot, which is everywhere? Or do you focus on the single flower that has managed to impress itself by surviving, thriving, and spreading its seeds where nobody else has chosen to exist. This is your choice, to see only the beauty or only the decrepitness, or recognizing this is a challenging environment, but that you choose to focus on the beauty while grabbing a broom, sweeping the parking lot, and making that as hospitable as possible. You get to be the agent of change. Don't look to government institutions or even other people to solve this problem. Where can you step in? How can you be an agent of change? How can you inspire others? This requires grassroots efforts where people come together and say, we're going to do the barn raising ourselves. We're no longer going to wait for somebody else to feed the homeless or to build the structures or to build the churches or to create the schools. We're no longer going to expect others to do that. We can get involved as well. Where can you be an imprint of and an agent of change? Ask yourself that. Ask yourselves that. And then see what bubbles up. If you have a passion for the unhoused, you will notice that maybe there's something I can do there. And then maybe adopt one single homeless person in some form. If you're tired of the education system, maybe become a big brother or a big sister in the Big Brother, Big Sister program. Adopt a child, and again, be an agent of change. If you worry about the elderly and that they are neglected, then go to a nursing home and adopt an elderly person and spend time with them. Play checkers with them. Allow them to reminisce about the past. These are the things that you as agents of change can engage in. And even if it doesn't change the entire world around you, it will change who you are. You will become loving, compassionate, and engaged in social discourse, because you will see how it doesn't require government agencies to change the world. It requires an army of individuals who care and who are willing to dedicate their own lives to better the lives of others around them, whether for a moment or for a lifetime. You can be a grocery shopper for people who are homebound. You can sweep the neighborhood. You can go around and pick up dog poo and not shame people for not picking up the dog poo. You can volunteer at a library. You can volunteer at a police office. Go in there and say, I can do the filing. Where are you willing to step up and show up and be an agent of change without asking anybody to pay you or pat you on the back for a job well done? Where are you willing to show up? Because this is your mission, your heart's desire, your imprint to make a difference. Don't wait for a savior. You are your own savior. And when an army of individuals like you show up, this is where the change occurs, because you do not expect institutions to do this. You do not expect governments to do this. You are part of that army. And you do your piece, and others will show up when it is time. And in the meantime, find gratitude, happiness, and opportunity. It is your place to figure out what you can do to make this world a better place, even if nothing else ever changes, because it will change you within. It will change you into Christ consciousness. And that is our goal, not to change the world, but to change you, to help you to figure out who you are, why you are here, and what makes you happy and what makes you shine and sparkle. And that is it. It is not about money. It is about agency and having a reason and a purpose every day, what puts a smile on your face. And then lastly, do not get frustrated that others are not doing this. Let them be where they are. And you just find joy in the happiness and in the moments that you engage in, and do not overdo, overwork, or burn yourself out. Set healthy boundaries. Say, this is what I'm willing to do and when I'm willing to do it, but I'm not willing to take on chaos or energetic imprints that are outside of this. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. These are the conditions that you get to set. And when you figure out the difference between the throttle and the gas pedal, you need to figure out when to go and when to stop and what feels good and what doesn't. This is our message and our lesson to you. Find humanity outside of you. Figure out how you can be an agent of change and follow what makes your heart sing. And it may be just to sing. It may just be to learn how to sing and sing a song that is sweet and share it with no one other than you. But in changing that inner vibration and finding the song within you, you find a way to shine and to sparkle so that when you go out and just do your normal things, you will impact the world because you are lighter, you are shinier, you are happier, and you are an inspiration to be around. And you will, through your vibration, impart that sense of satisfaction on others. Again, the goal is not to change the world. The goal is to change you so that you can see that everyone around you is just simply an expression of you, a different version, a different glass shard, a different fragment that is simply mirroring back to you who you are and to a certain extent who you are not. And so it is. Namaste.